Welcome to the Positively Star Wars Senate podcast. This is Obi-Wan Kenobi. May the Force be with you.
Looky, Senator. Decent Jedi arriving.
Let's make this our best show ever!
I will sign no treaty, Senator.
I am the Senate.
This is the way.
Hello, Star Wars fans, and welcome to Positive Star Wars Chat, because this is the Positively Star Wars Senate podcast, brought to you by the Power of the Force and OBS Studios, and maybe a little help from teams. We are having another Senate Quorum today. I have a special guest here. Would you like to introduce yourself?
Yeah, hi, my name's Jordan. You may know me as JC Wright Dad on socials, or you may not, because I'm just a nobody who loves Star Wars.
Yeah, well, we're all just nobodies that love Star Wars, so that's why we like doing the show, so that way we can just have regular people like us just talk about the war.
I appreciate the opportunity.
Yeah.
Love it.
All right, so we're gonna get to know Jordan a little bit here, and then talk some Star Wars. So so I guess we can start off. Jordan, what got you into Star Wars in the first place?
It's funny. I actually can't. People ask you all the time, like, what was your first Star Wars experience? I actually can't remember because I got into it so young. My family was super into the original trilogy, and they showed it to me super young. I had to be like 3 or 4. But as long as I can remember, I've been into Star Wars. I grew up. Yeah, it's always been there. I grew up in the 90s. I call it the dark times before the prequels. So, I read a bunch of EU stuff. And then, the prequels were like my first theater experience.
Same here. Same here. I was when I was born, Empire had came out. So I was born in '80. Yeah. So my first Star Wars in theater was Phantom Menace. So I didn't even get. Did you see the special editions in theater?
I didn't see the special editions in theater. No, we bought them, obviously.
Yeah.
But no, I didn't go see them in theater. The Phantom Menace was my first theater experience, and it's always going to hold a special place in my heart for that reason.
I was just watching that last night.
Yeah, we just watched it with after my son's starting to get into it super deep now, and after we watched Maul. He was like, let's watch everything with Maul in it.
Oh, cool.
So we watched Phantom Menace and we watched a bunch of Clone Wars stuff.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, so did you, so in the 90s we had the EU during the dark times, and then we had Shadows of the Empire. Did you get into Shadows of the Empire at all?
Absolutely, yeah. That was a good one. That was probably my favorite. I actually also really liked the Galaxy of Terror series. I know a lot of people don't like that one, or Galaxy of Fear, excuse me. I know a lot of people don't like that series, but that was probably my favorite little run during that time.
What about the video game, the Shadows of the Empire? Did you ever?
Yeah, absolutely. That was a good one. The 64 game.
Yeah. I still have it on PC, and that first level on Hoth is still hard to get the tow cable.
Yeah. It's a good game.
I don't think I've ever beaten it. Yeah.
I don't actually. Now that you say that, I don't think I have either. I may not have.
Yeah, I'm gonna go back and play it again, and so I would get to like a certain point, and I'm like, yeah, this game's pretty hard.
Yeah. Shadows was a good one for sure. I think that might have been my first Star Wars game too. That might have been the first Star Wars game I played.
Yeah, that's cool. I think that was mine also. So did you see all 3 of the prequels in theater?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah.
I saw Phantom Menace several times. I think I only saw the other ones once.
Midnight showings, or did you just go?
No, I just went. Oh, yeah.
Yes, I don't remember.
My family's not that hardcore.
Yeah, I don't remember going to the midnight showing for Phantom Menace, but I did for the I went the first morning showing of Attack of the Clones when it came out, and then I think we did wait in line at midnight for episode 3. So
nice.
Man, there was so much tie-in stuff during the prequels, like on TV. I remember on the OC, George Lucas was on there, and they were promoting that.
Yep.
If you remember that. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, the prequel era was crazy, for sure. It was it was a different time.
And then the episode
And
3
it had
video
been
game.
Star Wars
Yeah.
had been gone for so long, so it was like,
Yeah.
oh my God, this is crazy that we're getting this much Star Wars right now.
I still have my original merch from Phantom Menace. I have a Darth Maul lightsaber that when it lights up and makes the noise when you hit it. So, and that was like one of the first things on merch. And I have a talking Jar Jar doll. That was an alarm clock also.
Nice.
Yeah, all kind of stuff. All right, so yeah, that brings me to my one of my favorite characters is Jar Jar, and Chewbacca is my other one. But what's your favorite Star Wars character that you got there?
I would have to say Ahsoka is my favorite Star Wars character. I just love the way that she, you know, her personality is great in the animated ones, and I love to see where she's going in the live action. And then, I just love the way that she kind of rebukes the Jedi in the Clone Wars series. That whole arc is really, I love that one. And then the way they did her in season 7 too. She's got a lot of epic moments, and I love the way she kind of represents what the Jedi are supposed to be like. When they lose their way, kind of, in the Clone Wars.
Yeah.
So I would have to say Ahsoka.
I still go back and watch that episode where she leaves the order, and they're like, "Oh, that was just a test,"
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
They're like, "Psych,
You can come
Hey,
back."
yeah.
Right? She's like, "Yeah, I'm good." Yeah,
great job, by the way."
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, thanks for. Yeah, you know what? That was just a test. We didn't mean to kick you out, but you persevered, so come back. Yeah. No, I love her in the Clone Wars and in the TV show. I can't wait for. They've been hearing a lot of stuff about season 2, so
Yeah,
coming out for Ahsoka.
I can't wait for season 2 for sure.
Yeah.
I'm really bummed that Ray Stevenson's not getting to come back. That was one of the things about the show that was so cool for me. Like, it's so many actors that I love were in it. And Rosario and Ray are two of my favorite actors. So seeing them together was like in Star Wars, no less, in pretty much my favorite franchise. That was just peak television for me. But I'm really curious to see what Rory McCann does with the character too. Balin's really high up there on my favorite characters list too. Super high up there. So I'm really curious to see what Rory does with that. But yeah, I'm hyped for season 2. I hope it's everything that that I'm wanting it to be. But at the same time, I really don't care what it is, because I'm most likely gonna love it.
Yeah, isn't it crazy how? I wonder how many people there are that watched Ahsoka and they never watched Rebels, and they were probably confused on who Ezra was and his importance.
Yeah.
But, I love that they do that though, because then because I know I have my brothers and sisters they're really into Star Wars, but they don't get into the animation stuff. So I think my sister and her husband and her son, they watch Clone Wars and stuff. But one of my brothers, he watches the movies and stuff, but I don't think he's ever watched the cartoons or anything like that, or sat down and watched Clone Wars. So, I think he did watch Ahsoka. Yeah, he did watch Ahsoka. And I was asking him, "What do you know who the characters are?" He's like, "No, but it was pretty cool. I didn't really need to know anything." So, especially like in Mando, they had Zeb in there now.
Yeah.
So, he went to go see
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
I think they've handled it pretty well. Where there's a blend. There's some of the stuff that obviously you're just not going to understand, but I think there's a good blend of this is a continuation of a story, but also if you didn't watch that, it's okay. I think Ahsoka handles that pretty well, although it is pretty much to me, it's kind of an extension of the Rebel story. So you really do have to go back and watch Rebels if you really want to get it. But you can watch it and understand. And that's one thing I liked about Mandalorian and Grogu too. You can watch that movie and enjoy it without having seen the show at all. And it might make you curious to go back and watch the show. And that's something I think they're doing pretty well with all the stuff, is it's connected, but it's not, you can jump in at any point, and it might, at best, it's going to make you need to go back and watch something, but you're going to be curious about it,
Yeah, it'll pique interest, so you can go back. I want to know more about the Zeb character. Who was that? And there's a whole show where he was on there.
Yeah, he's a main character. What?
Yeah. He's a backstory. Did you I saw a lot of theories online what Zeb was wearing in the movie that like he was wearing Callus's jacket.
Mhm.
So,
Yeah,
yeah,
that
could
would
be.
be cool. I don't know that they're ever going to canonize that, but that would be cool. That would be funny for sure.
Did you ever go to the arcade and play the or maybe they had them at, I think mine had it at Chuck E. Cheese and stuff. The pod racing game, the Star Wars Racers.
I did. I did. Yeah, I loved pod racing. That was fun. I mean, I'm glad they're bringing back a new
Oh yeah,
version of it
yeah,
because that needs to be something that's constant in Star Wars. A pod racing game. That's awesome.
yeah. Yeah, they had put that machine, with the whole pod and everything in the Chuck E. Cheese by my house. Like back when my daughter, like a couple years ago, a few years ago, when she was like kindergarten age, and I used to always go in there. Like and my wife worked next door, so we'd wait for her to get off work, and I just go play the pod racing game with my daughter. But for some reason, that machine didn't have the boost work, so I lost every time.
Oh wow.
Yeah, yeah. But have you ever gone to any like conventions or anything like that? Any fan expo?
Haven't.
No.
I got really close to going to San Antonio Space Con a couple of years back because
Mm.
there was a bunch of Star Wars people there, and we got really close to going. It was going to be like my birthday present for the year from my wife, but we just didn't have it. We just did. It's a lot of money,
Yeah.
and we got two kids, and it's not really in the cards right now. The most we do, we like to go to Disney. We're kind of Disney people, so we
Oh,
we like to go to Disneyland every so often, and that's kind of the big thing that we do. And we're actually going in a couple weeks
oh,
for my
nice,
wife's birthday.
nice. So you get to see all the Darth Vader stuff and everything at
Yeah,
the OT
yeah, we're gonna
campus.
get to check out. We went last year and saw Batu in its original state, and so
Mhm.
now we're gonna get to go and see the new stuff that they added. So it'll be definitely cool.
Yeah, I think I've been there since because we used to go like since my daughter was born. She's 14 now, but like we were going like every year pretty much to Disneyland when she was born.
Nice.
But yeah, then COVID happened and we kind of stopped, and then it got really expensive. So,
Yeah, it's
but
real expensive.
yeah, I think the last time we went was 2 years back. And that was like our second time going when Galaxy's Edge was open. But yeah, we did the whole. We my first time we went, I made the lightsaber, and then my daughter made a droid. Um,
Yeah,
and then this time around we switched. That last time I made a droid because she did a BB droid, and then I did a R2 this time, and then she did her
nice.
lightsaber ceremony this time. So yeah, so we both have Disney lightsabers. So it's like, well, if you want to do lightsaber,
Nice.
we'll save up your birthday money and everything, and we'll go do that whole
Yeah,
thing. Have you done that? That experience is pretty
that
cool.
that first time we went, yeah, we did it. Me, my oldest, and my wife, all three got them. And it is expensive,
Yeah,
but it is to me, it's worth it because
it's worth it.
it's like a whole experience that you get with the building,
Yeah, when you're in
the class
there,
with the
and then you start hearing
with
the Yoda talking and everything. When
yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, and there's like a little Jedi Master in there with you. It's cool. Yeah,
yeah.
and my son got one. My son got one of the Sith ones,
Oh,
and they change all the time. They just changed uh like the sets that you can get.
yeah,
So
yeah.
like his is like frozen in time now. Like you can't get it anymore. So I was like, that's pretty cool, right? You have something nobody else can get anymore. It's
Yeah,
like, yeah, that's awesome.
when I did mine, like and then we went back to do it the second time to my daughter's, like they didn't have my set anymore. I was like, oh, you can't even get the pin. That's a different pin
Yep.
now. Yeah,
Yep. Yeah, it's crazy.
yeah,
So it's like you've got to go like all the time.
yeah. Like you
And
can like
obviously nobody's doing that, but
no, they
like
collect them.
but yeah, it's cool because whatever you get is only a few people are going to get it. It's like
Yeah,
a collector's item. Yeah, I highly recommend, like, even if you're not a theme park person, even if you're not a Disney person, every Star Wars fan should go walk through Galaxy's Edge because
at
it's like a
least once.
religious experience,
Yeah,
man.
yeah. We were trying to do that bounty game last time we went.
Yeah, I haven't tried it yet.
Yeah, it was kind of hard. Like I don't know if it was our phones or if it was just there's like dead zones in Galaxy's Edge. So like
Yeah.
trying to get yeah, because I noticed that even the because we had those was it the wristbands with the genie. So when we went
Oh
last
yeah,
time,
the magic bands.
yeah, we had the genie for that, and so trying to find out what ride we were going to go on next while we were in Galaxy's Edge was difficult because we weren't getting any reception in there. So I had to leave Galaxy's Edge, and then it worked, and then we are like, okay, let's go.
Nice.
Yeah, yeah. My daughter has a blast when we go because last time when she had her lightsaber, and then she took her droid in a little backpack that's like interacts when you're walking around. But she just was, trying to be cool and swinging her lightsaber around. It was nighttime, and people would just stop and be like, "Oh, look, that's cool. Where'd you get that lightsaber?" I'm like, "Oh, they're right over there. Why can't I make one?"
Yep.
It's only a couple $100.
Yeah. You can get over at I think it's Star Traders over in Tomorrowland. You can do a build that's cheaper and just you don't do the whole experience. And it's
the one that's outside of Star Tours.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you can do like a little mini build right there, and it's I don't think the sabers are quite as high quality, but it's only like $80 or $100 or something like that.
Yeah, I know they have the little plastic ones. Do they have? Is it like the same saber kind of like the same kind of light, or is it more the old school plastic ones where that they extend?
I would say it's somewhere in between.
Yeah,
They have the little plastic ones too, but it's not quite, like I said, I don't think it's quite as high quality as the ones you get from Sav's workshop.
Because those things are heavy.
Yeah, they are. They are heavy. It's legit. To me, it's kind of cool. One of my favorite. My favorite duels are the OT, the original trilogy, because I like the way that George thought of sabers more as like you're like controlling like a stream of energy as opposed to like something you can just like swing around all crazy in the prequels, which I get why they had to do that. It's the Jedi at the height of their power. It makes perfect sense. But for me, I like the original trilogy and sequel trilogy fights better because it's like it takes effort. They're like really. That's why I like the fight with Baylan and Ahsoka too, because you can see like Balin's like really swinging that thing, like he's putting effort into it. You know?
Like there's weight to like a broadsword.
Yeah, exactly. And that's I like the sabers you get from the workshop because they're like real heavy and like it makes it feel like you're really doing something.
Yeah, I was surprised at the quality when we went the first time. I was like, well, these are actually like metal and they're pretty heavy. I'm like, how's a little kid gonna hold this all day?
Yeah, exactly. No, my son could barely hold his at the time. He's bigger now, but he could barely hold his at the time. And my youngest, I have a 2-year-old, and he'll try to grab it and like pick it up, and it's like, no, you can't really do that yet.
Yeah, because I have a Force Effects Darth Vader lightsaber also that I got years back. Like I think it was around time Episode 3 came out, and like that one I thought was heavy, and then I got the one from Disneyland. I'm like, this is like super massive.
Yeah.
They're pretty durable though. Like me and my daughter will go in the backyard, have lightsaber fights.
Nice.
It does a cool effect when you clash. It does flash white, like in the movie.
Yeah. Yep.
But yeah, we haven't had any problems.
The sounds are pretty. Yeah. The motion and the sounds are pretty spot on too.
Because we clank them pretty hard, so.
Nice. That's funny. I've been, we spent so much money on it. I've always been worried to do that. So I haven't really, I'll have lightsaber fights with him sometimes, but we don't really rip, like we don't really lay into.
Yeah. Like we do it like moderately, but not like, okay, let's try to destroy the
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. We also have, we have some small, I think it's Sabers Pro, or Pro Sabers.
Yeah.
I think it's some smaller ones that we usually duel with. They're lighter, easier to swing around, and they were much cheaper. So I'm not that worried about it if I have to replace it.
Yeah. I think we had my nephew over, and he had one that he got from over there from was it Sabi? No, yeah, it's Sabi's right workshop. Yeah, so the three of us were all out in the backyard at night, and the neighbors must have thought we were crazy there. But yeah, we were each of us were like clanging them, and like nothing happened to him. Like, okay, good. There was one time I was like, do we hit it too hard? And I checked, like, nope, nothing happened to it. So, but yeah, I wonder if you can replace those. Yeah, no. Have you done the Cantina experience there?
We haven't. We're doing it this time when we go. It was always reservations before, and now it's walk up. So we're gonna do it this time for sure.
Yeah, we did it last time we went, and they had the time limit, so that was we kind of felt a little bit rushed, but it was pretty busy
Yeah.
when we went. But it's probably like calmed down a lot now. Um, but yeah, we had a couple drinks and we had some of the snacks. My daughter didn't really care for the snacks we ordered very much, but it's like it's just being in there is pretty cool, and then you got DJ Rex in there and everything. It's a nice little experience there.
Yeah. Yeah, I want to see DJ Rex for sure. I that was one thing when they changed. I like vaguely remember Rex when like I was like super young, and we would because my family that got me into Star Wars, they
Mhm.
lived in California, so we would get to go to Disney when we would visit them. And I like really vaguely remember Rex and changing to C3PO, and that was one of the things I was like, no, this is wrong. No, it's supposed to be Rex. Yeah,
Yeah,
so I'm excited to see
I
DJ
never got to
Rex.
see that. I've only seen it online. You can watch like the original run throughs, but like yeah, though since I started going to Disneyland, because I didn't go as a kid, but it's always been 3PO and R2, so I think it'd be kind of weird for me to see it the other way
Yeah.
around. Yeah, that's pretty cool. Yeah, my brother just went a couple weeks ago to Disney, and they were doing since it was May, they were doing a whole Star Wars
Yeah.
thing, and so I guess in Space Mountain, we did it one time. We went during one of the Star Wars periods, and then they had Space Mountain was Hyperspace Mountain.
Hyperspace Mountain.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I haven't ever gotten to do that either. I really want to go.
It's cool, but like I was like terrified when we went because my daughter was like little, but she met the height requirement, and so like I literally thought like her neck snapped when we were on the ride, and that she was gonna fly off. So the whole time I'm like holding her, um, but like she thought she got a kick out of it because when you go on there, it's they do the whole music and then it says punch it Chewie and then you go, and it's like just pitch black with. I've never been on regular Space Mountain, so I don't know how it is all the time. But yeah, it's all like TIE fighters flying around and stuff, and it was pretty cool. And so we got
Yeah,
out.
I
I'm like,
gotta
oh
do
my
it
gosh,
one day.
I figured she was gonna be in tears because it was going so. I thought it was going so fast for her and everything, and she's like, let's go back in there and do it again. Me and my wife were just like looking like, oh my gosh, we were so scared that she was gonna be get hurt or do something in there. But yeah, no, it was fun. I like when they would do that season of the Force there, and have all kinds of different stuff for Star Wars.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever been for Star Wars month either. That's something they started doing pretty
Yeah,
recently.
yeah.
One of these days, for sure. I got to make it there.
Did you guys
But Galaxy's
last time
Edge
we went?
sound
Last time we went, did you get any collectibles from there for Star Wars?
not really, just the
Just the
savers.
sabers.
Um,
Yeah,
yeah,
that's enough.
yeah. I mean, yeah,
Yeah.
it's a lot. I got really close to grabbing. They had a original Ren helmet, not Kylo Ren, but like the original Ren
Oh,
helmet, and I got really close to grabbing that, but I just couldn't do it.
I can imagine how much the helmets are there.
Yeah, it was a lot.
Wow.
It's like we can eat on the way home, or I can set this up on display in my house for the rest of my life.
You're like, yeah, we were gonna have to walk home if I
Yeah.
buy this. Yeah. So okay. So that's cool that you're gonna go next month. So anything specific? Which your favorite show or anything you want to talk about, or anything you collect, Star Wars wise?
My favorite show is Acolyte. It's probably my favorite Star Wars property, period. And so I'm always on the go watch the Acolyte train.
Yeah.
Give us season 2 because I thought it was really beautifully done as somebody who grew up. When I grew up, uh, you know, I felt like Leslie also, you know, it grew up with her, not maybe not grew up, but partook of that content as well.
Mhm.
And there's a lot of references and connections, and I want it back really bad. I hate that it got canceled so soon, but I think it's a really beautiful show, and the way they did it was awesome, and sets up so much for a potential season
Yeah.
2 beyond. Great cast overall.
Yeah, I'm
I mean,
hopeful that
just
they end up doing something else, especially live action. 'Cause I know they've done some of the books, Yeah, because
Yeah,
we were all here on the show. We were all into the High Republic when all that we went through every book and everything. Um,
nice
so it was nice seeing Vernestra, in live action as an
for sure.
adult. Because all the books she's younger. And then it's funny we were talking about helmets because Ryan from the show, he actually has a Stranger helmet.
Nice,
That he
nice.
likes to just walk around and wear.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I mean, Stranger's a great character, an awesome character.
yeah.
That I know everybody wants to know more about.
Okay.
Vernestra, yeah, I was super excited to see Vernestra too. I'm working my way through the High Republic right now. I
Oh,
haven't
okay.
finished it, but I was super excited to see Vernestra too.
What book are you on? If you
Right
can.
now I'm reading Convergence.
Convergence.
So
I'm trying to think which one was that one. Oh, it's been so long. I'm at the tail end. I haven't finished the entire story yet. I'm on a Trial of the Jedi, or is that the last one?
yeah,
Yeah,
nice.
yeah. So I'm trying to. Oh
Yeah,
no, I'm still
I,
not even that one. I'm on Into the Light, which is the last junior novel that they had. So I'm working my way through that one right now.
oh yeah,
It's just
nice.
trying to find time to read. It's been kind of difficult.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's I have a bunch of books I need to get to.
yeah, yeah,
Legacy is about to come out, and I'm super excited for that. I got to get my hands on that and find some time to read that.
yeah, yeah.
But yeah, I got a bunch of books on my list right now that I'm working through. I've kind of jumped around with High Republic too, and I want to finish the Sewell line, the Charles Sewell line with Trials and all that.
Hmm.
But yeah, it's I love the High Republic. I think it's incredibly well done. It's an awesome initiative that they went through, the way they
Yeah,
planned it and connected everything. I think it's awesome, and it's given us some really really awesome stories, some really awesome characters.
yeah. Well,
Um,
I think one of my favorite characters there was either Vanestro or man, just all the Jedi are pretty cool.
yeah, they got some great Jedi characters.
Beta Bardio.
Eldar and
Yeah,
Avar.
yeah.
I'm in love with them and their story. Bell Zettifar is one of my. I mean, he's
Oh
jumping
yeah,
the rank
yeah.
uh,
Bell.
for Jedi for me. He's climbing the ranks for sure.
Yeah, that'd be Bell or
Um,
Avar, my favorite Jedi characters in there.
nice, yeah, and Markian too. I think Markian's a great villain addition. I would really like to see some form of the Nihil
Yeah.
or the Rogue Clan Rogue get into get into live action somehow.
Have you ever listened to
Maybe
any of the
not Markian
audiobooks
himself.
for High Republic?
No, I haven't. I
The way
haven't.
they do, I go back and forth saying Markion and Martian, but the way they do his voice is like it adds a lot to the character because I was reading all the novels and then I started reading there's a couple I started getting into the audiobooks I think for phase 2 um and then some of the ones for phase 1 I started going back and listening to and like the way they do his voice adds like so much character to it so now when I read and I hear his voice like he kind of I don't know he reminds me of the dad from Back to the Future the way he talks if that makes any
Nice.
sense but kind of more of like angst to his voice so and he's like seems like he's always seething and angry when he's talking
Yeah.
but definitely has that I'm living in my father's shadow kind of vibe to him all the time and he's trying to prove something but yeah I did really like him as a villain during the whole series and like because he wasn't like a I guess you'll get to that more but what I forget I can't remember Convergence what who's the main
I'm just starting it, so I can't.
what was the one
I
before
can't even
that
tell you.
I'm trying to it's been so long
I think it's kind of standalone.
is it just
Convergence doesn't. I mean, it obviously connects, but it doesn't.
did I
It's
not read that one I do not remember that I'll have to look that one up yeah
yeah. I mean, I'm just starting it right now,
hmm.
so it's. I mean, it's like on my. It's the next thing I open up. So
Cool.
it's going to be the one. Just finished Wayseeker not that long ago.
Oh, okay, okay.
And then I have Crystal Crown uh, that I'm waiting on too. The Acolyte books.
Okay.
Um, but yeah, I mean, High Republic is just there's so many good books in there, so many good authors in there. It's it's a lot of fun.
Okay. Oh yeah, I guess it is a hmm. Convergence. Oh, so that's a phase. Is that a phase? Because I know I like the way they did the books. It's phase
Phase
one.
two.
Phase one was like kind of the OT trilogy, and then
Hmm.
phase two was like the prequels, which I really
Hmm.
did love phase two. Um, and then phase three was like the sequels. So I like the way they kind of mirrored, the movies with the books. So that I thought I really did enjoy phase two a lot. Um, so yeah, that's cool. It's funny because we were playing the Clone Wars board game last night, and they have Planet Bardata on there, which
Oh yeah,
yeah. So the Jedi, what is his name? But his nickname was the Blade of Bardata. I'm like, oh, High Republic tie-in. It's cool that they can weave stuff in there into the High Republic from from the other things.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. I mean, that's what makes the universe feel real.
yeah,
Is it's all like connected. I think they do a pretty good job of that.
yeah,
I know there's ultimately going to be some continuity issues when it's such a huge universe, but I feel like they keep them on. It's really tiny stuff.
yeah. That was a
Usually.
cool thing I liked about the
Mhm.
Acolyte was that you get to kind of see the robes and everything of that era, and
Yeah.
the Jedi were kind of like at the height of their power, and then they show them like
Mhm.
it was like when I was watching Phantom Menace last night, when they were doing the whole test for Anakin, before the council, like a cup, a speeder, um, and then they did the same thing to the twins on Acolyte. I'm like
Mhm.
that was such a cool tie-in that
Mhm.
they brought that back. But yeah, they would go and I mean they showed kind of on the Clone Wars a little bit, how they picked up the kids, but and recruited and then but like to see them like do it again on that show, like I gotta rewatch that. It's been a minute since I rewatched Acolyte. I gotta rewatch that again.
Yeah, it's a good show. It's got high rewatch value too
Yeah,
because
yeah,
the ending recontextualizes the whole rest of the show.
yeah,
You think you're watching one show the whole time, and then you get to episode 7 and 8, and it's like, oh, like that's not what was going on this whole time. Like Soul's actually kind of the villain here.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, and so like everything, so it's got really high rewatch value to me.
Yeah,
Um,
they had a great cast for that show.
Great cast,
Yeah,
amazing cast. Visually, I think it's really appealing. Great sets, great costumes. I liked what they did with the sabers. The saber fights are insane. You know,
oh man, when Jackie gets it, like that was just
yeah,
the three stabs. I'm like, oh my gosh, that whole
yeah,
sequence is it's hard to watch, but it's good to watch. I'm like, oh
yeah,
no, they're losing. Yeah, I love that whole sequence. Well, what's his name
yeah.
that
And the
plays
fight in 8 too.
was it Manny Cinto that plays
Yeah,
Kamir? I knew him
yeah,
from I don't know if you ever watched The Good Place.
I did. Was my first
Yeah,
experience with him too.
yeah, and so to see him like go from that, to
Yeah,
play yeah, and then the dual kind of role that he was playing too in
hmm
Acolyte, they did a really good job
a
with that.
really good job. Yeah, I think it's a really I think it's a really good coordination between like the writers and the directors and actors.
Yeah.
That's my favorite shows are the ones where you can tell there's like a through line of thinking through it, and everybody's in sync. And that's I feel like this show definitely has like the actors got what the writers were laying down.
Hmm.
So there's like a connection there between everybody, and everybody's in sync, and yeah, that's I wish more people would, yeah, because I know a lot of the problem that people had was like 3 and 4 were like, three's like it feels like it's the first flashback episode, and it
Yeah.
feels like it just like jams in there, and then 4 is real slow right after that, so it lost a lot of people. But it's really a show you gotta finish
Yeah.
to understand what, because like I said, like it recontextualizes everything. So like all that stuff that's happening in 3 and 4 makes a lot more sense when
Well,
you
it's not
when
that
you
long either
when you know. Yeah,
to
it's not that
rewind.
long either.
No, it's not that long either. But yeah, I learned a lot of stuff watching that show that from other because the tie-in stuff they did from the E, like the Bearish Bow and all that stuff, and you know, what was the other? There's just so much stuff, and then just seeing the another Wookiee Jedi other than
Yeah.
what's his name on High Republic?
Yeah, Elnaka.
Yeah, Kelnaka. Yeah, it was funny.
Yeah,
We were wondering like because on the show he has his head kind of shaved on the top, and we were like, how like is he bald or is he wearing a hat? And then when the show started, I'm like, oh yeah, he does have that was kind of there's a lot of cool like little costume stuff that they do on that show.
yeah.
Which is awesome.
They put a lot of attention to detail
Yeah.
into everything for sure.
Yeah. No,
Yeah, and there's a lot of references to like in that final fight, he does Soul does a game move. He does force repulse in there.
yeah.
Uh, it's like there's so much just like little tiny stuff like that. It's like just
Yeah,
like little connections back to stuff.
they were taking their time and they were adding stuff in there. I'm curious to see what they were gonna do with Plagueis. Like,
Man, me too.
which it kind of
I
makes
mean, I think everybody was, which is why I'm so confused why everybody was mad about it and we canceled it. Like this was going to be something we've all been begging for, like more Plagueis content, So that would be great to get to see for sure.
it's funny with him because like I don't know if there's anything in current canon that actually has him as Palpatine's master.
Mm-mm.
Because he tells Anakin that story,
Mm-hmm.
which is like, why would a Jedi know anything about Sith stories that were like happening behind closed doors? But like,
Right.
Anakin didn't clue in on it. But like, he just says, "Have you ever heard the Tragic Darth Plagueis?" He doesn't actually say. I mean, it didn't. It's kind of implied that that was me. I killed my master.
Right.
But to see him like kind of spying on the witches, and trying to find out their because Palpatine did the same thing with with the Mother Talzin and stuff. So
with the Night Sisters, yeah.
Yeah, so he had in Clone Wars he had that little his crystal ball pit thing. He do his magic stuff over. So it's nice to see like the evil Sith Lord bad guys do the same kind of witchy kind of magic stuff. So and then the tie-in with that in the prequels was like
Absolutely.
Plagueis' whole thing was trying to learn how to stop people from dying. So he learned it from.
He was trying to manipulate life. That's why. Yeah, that's the whole thing.
Yeah.
Like it makes sense that he would be researching people who were also experimenting with similar stuff.
Yeah.
The Plagueis novel is one of my favorite books in Star Wars for sure. And so seeing him and getting the chance to thinking we're going to get the chance to see him in live action was really exciting.
He's
for sure.
He's creepy too.
Yeah, it's creepy. Yeah, and like, would he be in a cave like spying on people? Yes.
Yeah.
Did you read the novel? Yes, absolutely.
The novel literally looks like a cave on the cover.
Yeah, like he's hanging out in caves for like, I don't know, 40-50% of the novel. So yeah, like yes, absolutely. Yeah, that's easily my favorite Star Wars show. Probably my favorite Star Wars thing ever, honestly. So I'm on the renew the Acolyte train for sure. We have a little group of us that we have a website, savetheacolyte.com.
Cool.
So y'all go check that out if you also like the Acolyte.
Yeah, I'm always for most of all of them on the show are always for like more Star Wars. Just more Star Wars.
Yeah, exactly.
Like why would you not want more Star Wars?
Why would you not want more Star Wars? And it may not all be your thing. That's the beauty of Star Wars now under Disney is like it's open to so many different storytellers and storytelling styles. And it gave us Andor, which is totally a different direction for Star Wars, but an amazing production. I think Ahsoka too. Ahsoka's a different direction too. It's more like a fantasy vibe, as opposed to like traditional Star Wars.
Yeah.
And I think that's cool. And that's why I'm gonna miss Kathleen Kennedy for that very reason, because she, that's the vision she had. She's a storyteller and power.
It's funny because I never really realized once she took over for Lucasfilm, and then like she got all this hate. I would look up like her IMDb, when I'm arguing with people, because they're like, "Oh, she doesn't know experience." I'm like, I look like her IMDb is basically my childhood.
Yeah, exactly. No experience. She's one of the most freaking awarded
she's
producers of all
literally
time.
been
She's
on
created some of the
every hit kid, stuff
yeah,
from the 80s and 90s. Like she had. You think she
E.T.,
wasn't doing anything on
Jurassic
those? Yeah,
Park.
yeah. E.T., Jurassic, like all the indie movies, and yeah, there's a reason why she got that job.
Yeah,
And, yeah,
no, there's a reason. Yeah, and like I said, she brings in different styles,
yeah,
and lets the storytellers really do things the way they want to do it. So, I'm curious to see where we go from here with Filoni and Brenwyn. I'm optimistic for sure. Um, but I think it's okay if not every Star Wars project is your thing. Like Star Wars doesn't have to be one thing.
yeah. I'm been
And
pretty lucky that like everything that's come out like ever, like I've been, I've loved. I think
yeah,
probably the one thing I probably wasn't too keen on was Andor, just because the pacing and stuff like that. But I
yeah.
that being said, I've watched it like 5 times, so I'm not the type
I'm
that's like,
still
oh, I didn't.
into it.
I'm not like, oh, I'm not gonna ignore that because I didn't really care for it. But like, no,
Right? Yeah.
I want to. I watch it over and over again. So I'm like, okay, there's stuff that's in there that I can like pick on or like clinch onto and learn more about the story of that world that they built there. So you get an appreciation for it. It's like Star Wars. You have to watch it over and over and over again to see little things here and there. So yeah, that was maybe like the one thing I probably like thought I wasn't gonna rewatch very much, but I mean, I'm just curious watching it over and over again, just so I can get into it more. So, um,
Yeah.
so yeah, I don't understand how like people can. But I try to let it get to me like when I hear negative stuff with fans, but because it's like that with every fandom. It's not just Star Wars, so I don't
For
really
sure.
try to There's people that hate
Well,
on
and everybody's
Pokemon.
going to have
Yeah.
differences of opinion. It's
Yeah.
just it's respecting those differences. That's where the line comes in, and
Yeah.
I'm not stupid for liking a piece of
No.
Star Wars media that you don't.
It's the whole thing where like no one goes on Yelp and gives a positive review to a restaurant after they have a good time.
Yeah, absolutely,
They only go there to
absolutely,
complain. So,
100%.
so yeah, no, I've loved Acolyte and all the other shows and Ahsoka. So I'm waiting for season 2 like, eagerly. But yeah, I hope they do something else with Acolyte. I hope they at least bring some of the characters back in some other things.
For sure.
Yeah, because I know they had I haven't read those novels that came out, but I think those took place before the show.
They did, yeah.
Yeah,
They're both pre-show.
yeah, yeah.
Wayseeker follows for Nestrin and Dara,
Mm-hmm.
and Crystal Crown follows Jecki and Yord.
Yeah, that's right. It's Jackie and Yord. Yeah,
Yeah, I haven't read Crystal Crown yet, but Wayseeker is definitely it'll also deepen the show for you.
yeah. That concept of the
it-
Wayseeker was different when in phase 1 with was it's Indira, right, or in Indar, that they let them go like kind of have like a vision quest and come back. Like find your own path as a Jedi.
Yeah,
To strengthen your
yeah, I like
bond with
that
the Force.
concept for sure.
Yeah.
It's kind of, I think they're trying to pivot away from gray Jedi, but bring the concept in somehow.
Yeah, I never understood the whole gray Jedi. That was like, was that from like the EU or is that from more of the video games? Because I remember like
No, it's just that it's something fans came up with
came up
more.
with,
Yeah, it's not really a thing.
yeah, because even
There's
George
like
was
a
like
there's a
bad guys wear
there's like a
black and
quote.
good guys wear white.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, the prequels are all about the graying of things.
Yeah.
Because like the original trilogy is Campbellian black and white, and then
Mm,
in the prequels it's like, oh well, maybe the Jedi weren't always right about everything.
yeah, yeah.
Obviously they're still the good guys, but they're not, maybe they made some mistakes along the way.
They kind of went off the path a little bit.
Yeah,
Which I'm fine with.
but
Some people get really angry. They're like, "Oh, the Jedi's never make any mistakes." Like, yeah, well, I mean, they kind of do sometimes.
no, they definitely do.
I mean, and that's why, like,
But gray Jedi is still not. It's still not really. It's
yeah.
not really a thing.
Well, like the
You're
whole
either
thing with the prequels, everybody hated the midichlorians. I'm like, well, you're supposed to hate the midichlorians. That's the whole point of them. Like, the George put
right.
that in there to make it so instead of being like kind of a faith-based, sect, now they're kind of breaking the Force down to a science, which kind of
Or
goes.
some chosen people,
Yeah,
like that's basically what it was before, right? Like, oh, some people are just like force
yeah.
tapped into the Force, like no, anybody can do it. Some people are more sensitive, but
They're like, yeah, you don't meet our standards
everybody.
according to the
Yeah,
blood
exactly.
test. So yeah, we're not going to take you.
Right, right.
And so even like with in Rogue One with what's his name should have been I can't remember anyone's name today. But there's the characters that should have been there that should have been a Jedi. There's other ones in Clone Wars that they could have took, and even with Osha and May and stuff. So it's like you're instead of like seeing someone's gifted, you're like, well, how gifted are you? Do you meet our criteria or minimum? So and then all the tie-ins. Well, you see it slowly in the High Republic novels too, how they get more and more involved in like the Republic, as being kind of like the basically like I guess they were the guardians of peace and justice, but being more tied in with the politics of everything,
Yeah,
it sets up the prequels really nice,
yeah.
So,
That's the
why I'm
thing.
curious.
You see him
Yeah,
becoming more institutional throughout
yeah,
the
that's
High
exactly,
Republic and the Acolyte.
yeah, institutional.
And that's I like the I'm really glad Clone Wars happened because I didn't feel like they delved into that enough in the prequel movies.
Yeah,
Like what made people turn on the Jedi. And I think Acolyte does that really well too. It like really subtly show, like in that first episode when Yord comes to get Osha, and he like strong arms the dude with his mind powers.
yeah,
Uh, like it's like this is exactly why people are turning on the Jedi right now. Like,
yeah. That's
I'm really glad they expanded on that because I really didn't feel like they did enough of that in the movies. Like I realized George's whole thing was the love story with Padme and Anakin, but there needed to be some more of the political side in there.
yeah. I mean, there's only so much you can do in 2 hours, so I get it. So
Absolutely, those
that,
movies could have been like 5 hours by the end of it.
but that's kind of the thing that made Clone Wars so great was that you got to explore, those little, intricacies like that and the different plot lines
Absolutely.
and see, I mean, they had people like bombing the Jedi Temple, because they didn't like what the Jedi were doing. I'm sure stuff like that happened through each era. That's why I'm always thought it'd be kind of cool to have like a Clone Wars-esque kind of show set during the OT,
Yes.
And that's kind of like why I liked Star Wars Resistance, and nobody ever watched it, but it kind of did show how the First
Love
Order kind of
Resistance.
like creeped in, and
Yeah.
got their claws
Yeah.
in different
I
societies.
loved Resistance. It takes a while to connect to the larger story, but it's I wish it had gotten a longer run, like
Oh yeah,
Clone
no,
Wars.
I kept posting stuff that was like renew, renew Star Wars
Please renew,
Resistance.
dude.
We need Kaz
Yeah, they
back.
still could. I mean, you could bring
Yeah,
it back anytime. It's animated, so
yeah.
you could bring it back anytime.
That's why in Ahsoka I was
Let's
kind of
do
happy that Kaz's dad was in there. I was like, awesome, it's a tie-in.
it. Yes,
He
they're
was a
tying it
jerk, but
in.
yeah, he's in there.
Yeah. No, I loved Resistance. I wish it had gotten a longer run.
Yeah,
And the end of I can't remember if it's the end of season 1 or season 2, but you see the Hosnian Prime thing happen,
yeah,
and it's
yeah.
like,
That was a cool tie-in. It
yeah,
like, hey, this is the movie. It's just from a different
exactly.
angle. Yeah. So everyone, from all over the galaxy, and then that was his home planet, right? That
Yep.
was Kaz's home. Yeah, that's cool. That's why
Yeah.
we play Star Wars Unlimited, and there's like so many different characters from Resistance in there. So like I have a Kaz card, and stuff like that.
Nice.
Yeah, yeah. No, I
We
like it.
need them in Galaxy of Heroes. I play Galaxy of Heroes all the time,
Oh
and that's one of the properties they haven't touched at all. There's no Resistance characters at all in there. And
man,
I'm like, come on, y'all.
yeah. That's
We got one Acolyte character, no
Mhm.
Resistance characters.
I
Come
gotta get
on,
into
y'all.
that. I played that like years back, like casually, like here and there. But I'm like, oh, I don't really have time to do. I gotta get back into
Yeah.
that. It's not really like a
Yeah.
Star Wars game out now, because I mean I went through Outlaws finally. I finished that, and then the Jedi games, and then Battlefront story mode and all that stuff. So like, yeah, the only I'm waiting for Racer to come out and that Monopoly game, but
Yeah.
but yeah, no, I wanna I should do that because the only thing I do on my phone now to play for Star Wars stuff, I have a Sabacc game.
Nice.
Yeah, Ryan from the show, he he brought to our attention like, oh, there's this app you can place the block. It's the same like the way you played in Outlaws, and you can play with other people.
Awesome.
So like you can host a table and other people join, so you play like in real time with other
Oh
people.
man,
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to check that out.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, Galaxy is cool because it's not like a story game. It's a mobile game, so
Yeah,
it's you just play when you want.
Yeah.
I enjoy it. I'm into RPGs and stuff, so
Okay.
it's more my speed. I really want to get into Outlaws. I haven't had a chance yet, but I really want to play
that's
out.
such a cool game. Like I really did. It might be my favorite Star Wars game, Star Wars Outlaws.
Nice,
Yeah.
nice. I've heard a lot of people say it's really good. So I'm excited to try it.
Yeah, it's like you're playing a movie. Like I really did enjoy it a lot. And then you get to see all the underworld factions like the Pikes and everything like that, and and Crimson Dawn. You get to have involvement. There's more storyline with Kira and all that stuff, and so that's pretty cool. Then Zero Company's coming out. That one's like a turn-based game.
That's gonna be fun.
Yeah, I'm curious about that.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that one.
Yeah. Cool. So, like, anything else you want to chat about before we wrap up?
No, man, I appreciate the time. I could gab about this stuff all day, but
yeah.
no, nothing specific.
Yeah, it's always nice to have some Star Wars conversations that don't end up in shouting matches or all caps. So that's what we like doing this show. Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah. So
no, I appreciate you guys.
Yeah. No. Yeah. So I mean, anybody listening, like me and Jordan, we kind of interacted on Twitter, or X, whatever you want to call it. Yeah, it's so hard to not get into Twitter arguments on there. Yeah. I've been trying not to lately, so try to.
I'm trying not to, but there's just there's a lot of bullying in the fandom, and I just I'm over it.
Yeah,
I'm over it.
I was getting into it with some EU people for a while. I'm like, just enjoy everything. They didn't burn the books; they're there.
Yeah, they're still there. Legends is still there.
I just read Empire or Heir of the Empire. I got to finish my Thrawn trilogy. I listened to the first one, the audiobook, but I do actually have the physical book, so I might start getting into those because we're doing like a summer reading program with the library, trying to earn points. My daughter's doing that, so it's like a family thing. So nice. I might start digging into some. I have a bunch of EU books, so I just kept collecting them when I would go to like a Goodwill or secondhand store or something like that. I would find them for like 20 cents and like back.
Yeah, there's a half price by my house that I can almost always find some EU gems in there for sure.
Yeah. Cool. All right. Well, yeah, it was a good chat. So I guess I'll see you online. And if you guys want to find us online, we're on primarily on Twitter. We do have our Facebook group still, but yeah, I'm gonna try to get into Instagram too. But it's just so hard navigating socials, and nobody else in the show wants to handle it. So I don't blame them.
Yeah.
But the good thing, I get to meet cool other fans like you. That people that are into it, and that are positive. So yeah.
Yeah, no, it was nice to meet you, man. Definitely a nice chat. Yeah. I appreciate the opportunity.
Yeah, no problem. All right, so I guess it's goodbye from me and goodbye from Jordan.
May the force be with y'all.
May the force be with you.
Go switch off. I am the Senate.
Be sure to follow us online. We're at Facebook at PSW Senate. Join our PSW Star Wars Facebook group where we all are in there interacting. You can find us on Twitter at PSW Senate. On Instagram, we're at PSW Senate Podcast. And on TikTok, we're at PSW Senate Podcast. We look forward to hearing from you.
The Force will be with you, always.